Good morning, YouTube. Welcome in. Today we've got an absolute beauty for you. We're building a beautiful whiteout system, and today we've got a very, very nice thing you have not yet seen on the channel, and that is the 4070 Ti Gaming X Trio in white. Yeah, that's right. MSI just released beautiful white GPUs, and we have our first one today to show on the channel. Putting us all together with a 13600K. We're putting it on the Z790 Edge board from MSI as well. It's got that beautiful white aesthetic, and we're putting in the H5 Flow. This has got a little bit of RGB in it with the two front fans, the RGB cooler that's coming over from Deepcool, and the H5 Flow system. It's just gonna look absolutely killer. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button to help us with the algorithm. And remember, if you want to catch one of these streams being built live, come over to our Twitch channel any Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll see you then. We got some upgrades for you. So if you didn't see, yes, we have a white gaming trio card. They just came out, the Gaming X Trio in white. So it's a white MSI graphics card. I also gave you two front white RGB fans. So I know you just want subtle colors. So I'm going to give you two extra fans to go with the front of your RGB system they have in place. So it's gonna look absolutely killer. Let's go to the build station. Let's get started. An i5 with a 4070 Ti. Yeah, the 13600K. Literally, it overclocks like a 12900K, guys. So if you look at the 13600K, you're literally getting a 12900K. A little bit better memory controller, and it goes with DDR5. It's a fantastic, fantastic CPU. That's why we use it. So, all right, guys, let's go over and start building this beauty. Let me get mic'd up and let's get started. Let's get everything we got. We're gonna actually add some white fans to the front. Instead of having no RGB, we're gonna add two RGB fans. I don't think we were in your quote that we added for you. We had some extras, and then we also added a nice little white cable. Mr. Jacob, if you're still here, a little white cable for the cooler. So, all right, NVMe drive today. The KT3000, you guys have seen it quite a bit here on the channel. It's one of our favorite drives. So yeah, I was thinking about doing that Bloodborne. I was thinking about doing a NOS here just for like for local video, so I can like record off the CPU while we're streaming at like a 16,000 bit rate versus an 8,000 just for like YouTube for the build streams. People would probably like that. All right, guys, 13600K going in the socket. Everything looks good there. Let's drop it in. Because I have an Entho Pro right now, River, for my server, and I want to actually move it into a 5800G with 32 gigs of RAM on like a Noctua cooler, and just have that for my Plex. I run everything off the NOS, you know what I mean? My server. RAM will be next chat. Actually, before we do the RAM, we're gonna do the cooler standoffs. Today's cooler we're using is the AG620 from Deepcool. It is a GAMX series, it's like the AKs. But we have some RGB today. Here's the air cooler today we're using. So it's a beautiful air cooler from Deepcool. Everything in here. I'm not going to be using the Deepcool thermal paste. I'm going to actually use some of EK's Ecotherm today. We're not going to apply a thermal paste until the motherboard's secured in the case. So let's get a RAM in, chat. That's all we have left before we take the case out. Today's RAM, 6400 megahertz of DDR5. It's the Kingston Fury kit, chat. You've seen it before on the channel. It's a phenomenal kit of RAM. All right, first stick going down and in. Second stick going down and in. There we go. All nice and snapped in. All right, let's get this case out. We love this case. This is the H5 Flow from NZXT. I think it looks absolutely killer. Let's give you a front close-up of this beautiful case. We'll leave that rear white fan in. You're not gonna see much of it behind the air cooler, but we are gonna add two beautiful white RGB fans to the front here, which I'll show you here in a minute. First, we're gonna the motherboard in. The reason we like this case is, remember the H510 original? This is the H510, and they've remade this now twice. H510, solid front panel with some mesh intakes on the side, horrible airflow. They said, hey, let's make the H5 Flow. All I did was just take a mesh front panel, which was decent. They did a few little moderate changes to the new H5 Flow and the H510 Flow that they made. But they didn't have any chance for a 240. They got to put the 240 in the front. You suffocate and kind of not suffocate, but you limit the amount of air you can push through that rad into the case. They said, all right, let's make it the best we can. Front mesh panel. You can put two 140s in the front. You now top mount a 240 and the top as well. And then you can put a 120 rear fan. So now you have great airflow through this case. On top of it, they also added what we call the toilet bowl fan. You can see it right here. See a little fan right there? Blows some more fresh air out of the bottom. So it's a great case now. It's actually one of the best cases for around 100 bucks on the market. It's well built. NZXT's name and reliability, great cable management. It's got a really clean aesthetic when it's done right.
So it's a great little case. It's a toilet case, yeah, we call it a toilet bowl. In we go with the beautiful Edge Wi-Fi. There we go, all in, looking good. We've got everything in. We get front close-up now. Oh, that beautiful motherboard all installed. All right, guys, we're gonna start working on some of the fans here in the front and the cables. So before I get too caught away with doing cable management and front braid or the front panel cables, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these front fans in. A little more aesthetic, a little bit more pleasing RGB to the front of this case. We're gonna pop out these front fan support bracket. There it is. Pop this out. We're gonna get our beautiful FC120s in from Deepcool. These great fans right here. There you go, chat. Look at those beautiful FC fans in the front. Plenty of airflow will be coming through those two fans. All right, we have Type-C and USB 3 to put in. We're gonna do that right now. Our Type-C cable's going in. There's our Type-C. Next will be our USB 3.0. There we go. Those are in. Stuck my elbow right on that. All right, let's get the rest of our cables zipped and cleaned. All right, before we put all these the rest of these cables together we have here, we're gonna work on getting the power supply in. You're like, power supply already? Yes, power supply already. All right, power supply, 1,000 watt today. PCIe 5 from MSI. Fantastic power supply coming in. There it is, chat. MSI A1000G PCIe 5 power supply. CWT makes these power supplies, the same power supplies that are made for Corsair and Thermaltake. Why 1000? You ever really need? Just you want to have the scalability. So we can take this power supply and move to other things if he ever wants to upgrade. It's the only reason we do a power supply like this big. But it's a beautiful little power supply from MSI. There it is, chat. All right, 24-pin main, a 12-volt high power. We'll need a SATA cable, the RGB, 1 CPU and 2 CPU, and that's all we need today. Everything else will go back in the pouch. All right, CPU power's in. Gonna run our rear fan. It's all installed there. There we go, it's all installed. Next we have to run our 24-pin main motherboard connection. All right, up and over we go. All right, all nice and secure. All right, got all of these cables secure. One more zip here, and then we're on to our cooler, chat. All right, so we're gonna top down. I'm gonna grab some EK Ecotherm for the CPU. There we go, all right, let's give you a top close up. Let me grab my Ecotherm, our thermal paste. Good chat, all we need, a little X on the spot. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful cooler from Deepcool. 6 heat pipes, great towers. Fantastic. It's really personal preference. We're getting down to the point now between AMD and Intel that it's really just becoming preference. They're always neck and neck. One has 3 more frames than the other and people go absolutely crazy. Pick your poison really right now. It's AMD or Intel. You can go either way. Either way, you're gonna be happy. If you're gonna be editing, I think Intel's gonna get a little bit of a nod right now because of the 7800X 3D to have the better gaming potential is not gonna edit and do other things, applications as well as Intel will. Gaming wise, it might have the edge on 13.9, but I don't think so. 13.9's just been so rock solid, man. 1300K's just been rock solid. It's one of the best Intel CPUs in years. 13.6, what we're putting in today is we're putting it in for a reason. It's just great. Now we have obviously a high DIMMs here with this RAM, so we have a little bit more of a clearance on the front. It's not gonna affect the cooling at all because of the clearance, but it just looks a little off, but not too bad. So small little, any kind of RAM on these, you have to have like super low profile RAM, but this isn't not gonna do any issues at all to it. It looks absolutely killer. You know what time it is? It's time to pull out the behemoth, all right? There we go. The beautiful white Gaming X Trio today, all right? Chunky boy and a beauty, all right? Ooh. They went supreme with you. They gave you the mouse pad too. So you got a special edition. Oh man, this makes the Arrow look ugly. No offense to the Arrow owners, the Arrow is beautiful. Oh, but I've always loved MSI aesthetics. No, okay, take that back, the Arrow's gorgeous. This just does justice for MSI because it needed white cards. I love the Arrow, what am I thinking? That was a rude comment. But damn. There it is, chat. First look. Oh man, they do this right. That's sexy. That is a sexy GPU from MSI. Sheesh. Look at the top plate. This is where I love. Like MSI has its own design. Look at this, chat. That's pretty. That is chef's kiss right there. PCI slot protectors. It's also a 3-slot card versus a lot of 2, like Strix and the arrows are 2 slot. It's got the extra 3rd slot for protection. You almost lick this card, chat. Oh, there's a cellophane. Oh, here we go with the brand new 4070 Ti. Fits perfectly in this case. And the Gaming Trio white. Here are the thunk. Here we go. Oh, there's the thunk we wanted to hear. Look how beautiful it looks with the aesthetic of this build. MSI, we need some golf claps all around. You did it right, MSI. You did us right with this beautiful, beautiful card. The cable mount, no, we didn't use cable mount today. We used Easy DIY Fab. We've used this a couple times now, and it does really, really well. Cable mount is if you want full custom cables. Sometimes people always don't want custom cables, don't really have it in their budget. This is a free upgrade we gave a customer today. We do a lot of upgrades all the time. People don't realize like RAM, we'll do drives, we'll do some cable kits, sometimes we'll do GPUs. Like we always are looking out for the customer and taking good care of them. So today we're doing a beautiful white braided cable extension. You can see it there. I'm gonna run this up and in, and so look absolutely sharp with this beautiful card. So we can go up and in with the cable extension. There it is. We'll move these braids around. We'll plug it in, get it all dialed in. It's all plugged in. It's time to light it up. Cable management in the back. Oh, it's got a little bit of weight for being a smaller system, but it's got some weight to it. Cable's all looking clean. Put that back panel on, and we'll get ready to light it up.
Guys, thanks for coming in and liking another video here on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button, help us with the algorithm. Make sure people find us and see all the beautiful PCs we build. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button as well. Remember, we build these systems live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/stints. Come over, hang out, chat it up with us, watch us build beautiful PCs for everybody in the community. And remember, let's go.